Hello, in this video I want to talk about the classic question of work-life balance and time management, how to be effective, which is a really good question. Before I begin, down below in the description there's this link, and if you do click on it, there's education and training on how you can make really some good money with social media and the internet. Now, Jeff Bezos, I believe he's the richest guy now. He just passed that market. He's $105 billion. Owns Amazon.com, the CEO. Uh, he did this whole interview with his brother, and he was asked this question. His answer was pretty interesting. Basically, what it comes down to is energy levels. So, if you can have all the time you want with your family, and you're miserable, they could be like, well, go back to work, man. Go do something. And then if so his whole idea was if you feel really good about your work, you're excited, your energy is high, then you bring that high energy to your family and they're happy being around you, you're happy there, and you bring that same energy back to your work, that kind of good feelings and energy and stuff like that. That's what his whole idea was, work-life balance, which was pretty interesting that I thought. And I did read this book called The One Thing, which it's a really, really good book. One of the best books I've read in a while. And according to the book, he basically says this whole balancing act is a fantasy, it's a pipe dream, doesn't really exist. The perfect work-life balance. It just doesn't. The act of living a full life by giving time to what really matters is a balancing act. Extraordinary results require focus and attention and time to get the result that you seek. So time on one thing always means time away from another. Okay, and so this makes balance, nearly impossible, like a perfect balance. And according to his whole book, he had his whole history about it. In the 20th century, really witnessed the start of limited working hours to protect workers. Uh, and the term work-life balance wasn't created until the mid 1980s, when more than half of all married women joined the workforce. Um, it's like we went from a family of one hunter and one homemaker to a family with two hunters and no homemaker. Both people were working out there, bringing home the bacon. And a lot of women don't want the guy to be home, like, hey, can you go home and do some homework, some housework. And just to guess, maybe women started using that term to get the guy to do more work around the home. The problem with living in the middle, so if you want this like perfect work-life balance, is it prevents you from making really good results uh, committed to anything. You can't. It's hard. So if your effort is to attain all things, everything gets shortchanged and nothing gets its due. Okay. Sometimes this could be okay, and sometimes it's not. Knowing when to pursue the middle, it's not gonna be perfect, but have a good work-life balance, and when to pursue the extremes of a little bit more work and a little bit more time at home with your family, is really the essence of true wisdom. It's a very good question. So if you work too long, eventually your personal life will suffer. We blame work when we say, I have no life. It usually is quite the opposite in a lot of ways. Even if our work life doesn't interfere in our personal life itself, there could be so many have-tos that we again reach the same defeated conclusion. I have no life. I actually witnessed this with my father recently because he's retired. He was telling me about this. I was like, huh? Uh, and sometimes we get hit from both sides. We have so many personal and professional demands that everything suffers, breakdown imminent. And once again, we say, I have no life. Yeah. The most important thing to realize that I got is that time waits for nobody. Okay? And I'll give you an example. There was this couple who scrimped and saved uh, and really just done less with their whole lives, anticipating this, retirement, this travel. Kind of think of it like communism, suffer today so you can have the glory of tomorrow. And the woman even saved travel clothes. And in her final years of teaching, she actually developed cancer, and sadly, she died. The husband never felt good about spending the money because it was like, hey, this is our money. We plan to spend this later. And when he passed away, he never cleaned out the travel clothes. I mean, it's a really pretty sad story, but there's a lesson here. So if you push something to an extreme and postpone it, it could be permanent. You could be so stuck in your habit that you just don't, boom, boom, you don't get to it ever. Uh, when you gamble with your time, you may be placing a bet you can't cover. Even if you're sure you can win, be careful that you can live with what you lose. Okay, this is like an opportunity cost there. So if you're achieving balance is a lie, then what do you do? Like, the question is like, okay, Kevin, what's your brilliant answer, right? Well, when we say we're out of balance, we're usually referring to some priorities. He says in this book, things that really matter to us that are not met. That's when we say, we're out of balance, or we're stressed out. You mean I have no life? It's because you're not doing the things that really are important. If you're doing too much that doesn't matter. So no matter how hard you try, there will always be things left undone at the end of the day. The week, the month, your year, your life. Okay, you can't get it all done. It's insanity. Even trying to get them all done is just you'll go mad, right? We're so crazy busy nowadays. But here's the thing: when the things that matter most get done, I mean, like your highest priority, you'll still be left with some sense that things are left undone, a sense of imbalance a little bit. But leaving some things undone is kind of like a necessary trade-off for good results in what matters. Now, determining what matters, that's the million-dollar question in your life that you have to answer. But here's the thing: you can't leave everything undone. And that's where the counterbalance comes into play that he talks about in this book, which is an interesting idea. Now, his whole idea is that counterbalancing, that's his answer, is that you never go so far that you can't find your way back, or stay so long that there's nothing waiting for you when you return. It's like the guy who's just working insane hours, never sees his family, and next thing you know, his wife's like, "Hey man, I'm out of here, peace." He goes home, nobody's there. Hey. So whether or not you go out of balance isn't the question. You probably will go. You'll have too much time investing in work or too much time in your family. The question is, do you go short or you go long? So what he suggests in this book is, in your personal life, he's like, well, it might be a good idea to go short and avoid long periods when you're out of balance. In your professional life, he says to go long and make peace with the idea that the pursuit of the results you want may require you to be out of balance for long periods. So it's like going long allows you to focus on what matters the most. Okay, even at the expense of others, lesser priorities. So in your personal life, nothing gets left behind. Of course, once you hit the goals of your professional life, you can kind of go more long in your personal life too. So that was his kind of idea behind it. Yeah, another good saying. So like, imagine life is a game in which you're juggling 5 balls. We'll kind of keep it simple here. And there's probably like more than 5 balls. The balls are called work, family, your health, friends, and integrity. Okay, 5 balls. And you're keeping them all in the air. You're juggling. Boom, 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 boom. But one day, you finally come to understand that work is like a rubber ball. Ding. And if you drop it, it bounces back. You can always find work. You can always find another way to make money, a new job or whatever. The other 4 balls, like family, health, friends, depending on your friends, integrity, are made of glass. So if you drop one of those, boom, it will be just scuffed, nicked, perhaps even shattered. So I don't know. What do you think about that? There's some truth to that. You disagree? I don't know, let me know. But so when you're supposed to be working, you work. Okay, you focus. When you're supposed to be playing, play. Have fun. It's kind of like a weird tightrope. You're walking, but it's only when you get your priorities mixed up that things fall apart. You're doing things that just are not important, but you feel like you have to, and then kind of might that's when you might get burnt out, stressed out, and you just I don't know, something like that. What do you think? I think that's true. I think there's a lot of truth to that. I think there's a lot. This stuff makes a lot of sense to me. Anyways, I hope you like this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up. If you have a comment, if you disagree, please leave a comment. And if you are interested in making some extra cash using social media and the internet, that's always good. Having some more money coming in gives you more options. Click that link below. It's really good. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day. And take care. And bye.